we go. Hey, everything on 3. Number 3. Wait on 1. Oh, wait on 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Hey, next up. Eyes on 3. Everything on 3. 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy.
It's your boy Chazz, and welcome back to the Coffee with Chazz weekly segment. And we are headed out now. It's a little late, more like lunch with Chazz, but that happens sometimes. And you know what? We're recovering from a snowstorm, as you heard from last week, but obviously we're ootin' a boot again. Not really recovering, you know. We had a week of like 40-degree weather, so we're pretty good now. Pretty much dug out. You know, there's massive piles of snow, massive piles of like snow from the plows and from the removal. But other than that, all the roads are good, and we can finally park on the streets and things. So you know what? Let's just get right into the content. How about them Bills, y'all? They played on Thanksgiving, so it feels like it was forever ago. And they're playing this upcoming Thursday. But, oh, man, ugly win again, man. We're getting these ugly wins against, you know, Detroit, one of the worst defenses in the history of the league, so they say. And quite possibly lost Von Miller for a little bit to a year, like whatever that means. But, you know, we need to calm our titties. A win is a win. It was against Detroit, in Detroit, on Thanksgiving, which is kind of like their Super Bowl, you know. So they were ready to play. They're playing harder. They're silly, and they're still not using DeAndre Swift like they should be. But I'm not their coach. They have a bad one, but he gets those guys to play hard, and we won. So I don't know. Josh looked human again until the last drive, then all of a sudden he's throwing darts. Would you just, like, sit him? Like, let's skip this New England game. Like, I know they're doing well and it's a division game, but, like, if you let Josh sit this New England game, he doesn't got to play for, like, it would be like 2 weeks off almost for him because he played Thanksgiving and he won't play through the following Sunday. Like, let Josh sit and rest up and get better, you know. I think we could beat New England with Case Keenum. He's a good, capable backup, so it's not going to be as long as a How About That Bill segment because it's not as fresh. And the wounds and the victories are not as fresh right now. But, yeah, that's it for the How About That Bill segment. So, for the play of the game for the Bills, it's of course that big fucking Josh Allen rocket to Stephon Diggs to set up the game-winning field goal. So here is your Bills play of the game.
Steps into it, down the middle. He's open. Oh my goodness, how did he get that open? Diggs, the pass was perfect.
All right, and we're going to talk about quarterbacks and start right off with aforementioned, the number one quarterback of the week. He's back! Josh Allen at 30.92 points. It's good to see him back. At number 2, we've got another guy that is a mainstay of the top 5, and that is Jalen Hurts. That was supposed to be like love hurts, but it didn't sound good. Jalen Hurts, 29.82 points. At number 3, we got a man that we always thought would be here, but was not in here at all this year. That's Justin Herbert. Hi, Chris. I got 28.76 points. I'm Justin Herbert. And then in the 4th place, we got, hey there, little fella, Kyler Murray at 26.24. Big points from a guy, especially that he's been hurt and Call of Duty's out. And at number 5, we got the blonde bomber, Trevor Lawrence, at 24.9 points. And then I just snuck him in here because he's the 6th overall, and it was a hell of a performance. We have the Zach Wilson replacement, Mike White, at 24.8 points. Mike White, calm yourself, Jets fans. Relax. He did awesome. He looks better than Zach Wilson, but he did this last year too. He did play a game where he had 400-something yards and just crushed it, and then the next game was god-awful. So, relax. Pump your brakes. Zach Wilson's a number 2 overall pick, but it's ugly with Zach Wilson. And it's hard to argue with Mike White coming in and doing what he do, right? I understand that, but he's not in the top 5. Trevor Lawrence has been pretty decent this year for fantasy here and there. He's been a good spot starter. I know I started him on a 1 week over Tom Brady, and he got, I think, 0.5 more points than Tom Brady that week. But maybe next year, he's going to have a better complement of weapons. ETN's going to be healthy. They're going to have Calvin Ridley next year, and he's already starting to chuck it to the guys he has, Christian Kirk and everything. So, then you had Kyler Murray sitting there at 4. It's Kyler Murray. He'll be good. He'll be bad. It's good to see Justin Herbert back up, and that's with just Keenan. Mike Allen didn't play this week, and Jalen Hurts is awesome. Jalen Hurts and, of course, number 1, Josh Allen. I mean, that could be the collision course of the Super Bowl. Those 2 players right there. I originally picked Brady and Josh Allen, but I wouldn't sleep on those 2 clashing either. So it'd be interesting, to say the least, to have the Bills and the Eagles Super Bowl. I was the only one of the fantasy football crew that was on the Eagles bandwagon before the season, so I could take a little victory lap on that. That might be one of my victory laps that, one of these upcoming weeks, because it was me. I was the only one that believed in them. But don't sleep on Dallas. How crazy would it be? I mean, the Bills have the if the Bills can make it to the Super Bowl, there's so many narratives they have. You got the Bills, Eagles, whatever, but you got Bills beating Brady, in the Super Bowl. That would be huge. But you also have, on tap, people don't realize, you've got the one that Chris Berman always called the Bills and the Niners are a possibility. But we could be Bills vs. Cowboys Volume 3 and maybe, crash that from them whooping our ass in the 90s. So looking over the players of the week, you know what? Even though he's a top 6, we're just going to throw him in there because it's new, fresh meat. Mike White, you are our play of the week.
A deep drop lets the routes develop. One of his first downfield shots has Garrett Wilson. Makes field goal miss. Turns on the afterburners. He's gone. Touchdown Jets. New York takes the lead.
All right, now we're here to talk about the running backs of week 12. Was it week 12? Week 13? What the hell? Week 13 maybe? No, week 12. Whatever this week is, this is the week. And the number 1 running back of the week, by far, with an insane performance and an insane huge play that is just gonna blow you guys away if you haven't seen it yet, is the dude that we, the Fantasy Football Bros podcast, called out as being a my guy, as being a fantasy crush, as being as being that dude. And that dude is from the Oakland Raiders. The Vegas Raiders. Josh Jacobs with 50.3 points, folks. 50.3. Dude had 303 total yards, catches, touchdowns, a beastly performance from Josh Jacobs. And that dude is playing for a contract. And that dude is about to get paid. Josh Jacobs is about to get paid up. So, Josh Jacobs, 50.3. I still can't get over it. Number 2, we got Miles Sanders, a guy who we were met on, who's been playing well. Number 3, a guy that's always in the top 5 here. We got Mr. Austin Eckler at 25 points even. James Conner is at 4th with 21 points. At 5th, we've got Brian, I just got shot in the ass, Robinson, with 20.5 points, and he's also tied with the second string running back in in Jacksonville, after Travis Etienne went down, Jim Michael Hasty had 20.5 points. So the running backs delivered this week. But, I mean, come on. There's no doubt about it. The player of the week, the play of the week, whatever you want to call it, I've never even really made it an official word of it, is Josh Jacobs for his huge performance and in his walk-off 86-yard touchdown run in overtime to win the game for the Vegas Raiders. So, Josh Jacobs, you are the man. I love him. I think he's great. He's going to make a lot of money next year. Hopefully he sticks with the Raiders or comes to the Bills. But Josh Jacobs, you are the player of the week.
Jacobs with running room right up the middle. Jacobs is on his way. The Raiders are going to win this game.
Is an absolute savage. Look at the block by Jakob Johnson as fullback, and Jacobs, who has been just a man possessed all game from the first quarter all the way to the last play, has just been dominant, and for the second week in a row. Last week, Devontae Adams. This week, Josh Jacobs.
And we're back to talk about the wide receivers. And in first place for the week, a normal name that we always hear is Double J, Justin Jefferson, 29.34 points, followed closely by Chris Godwin with 29 points. And then rookie Garrett Wilson, 28.4 points. Then also on Thanksgiving, we had Amon-Ra St. Brown with 27.9 points. And in fifth place, you got Zay Jones. What? 27.5 points. That's crazy, y'all. The top 5 performances are all in the upper 20s, and they're all separated by just 2 points. So, that's nuts. That's wild to see. But I think we're going to go with the play of the week as Chris Godwin. We haven't really gotten him in there yet. Chris Godwin is somebody that I drafted in a few leagues, and I was happy to get him because you're getting his value in like the 5th, 6th round, and I felt that he was going to produce like a number 1 receiver, and he is. Now he is. It took a while. He's coming off an injury, but now he's firing all systems. Tom Brady's going to pepper him. He's Tom Brady's Julian Edelman, Wes Welker. He's the slot guy, but he's also an outside guy, so he's very, he has a lot of variables to him, and it took him a while to get going. But I think it's great to see. I'm a fan of Chris Godwin. I think he's a great PPR receiver in fantasy football. A little tougher, but even if it wasn't PPR, he would still have 19 points this game, so he can throw it together. He's not just PPR. And Chris Godwin's going to be the play of the week because the 2 leagues that I had him in, I won. So, Chris Godwin, thank you, 1. And 2, you are our play of the week.
Brady looking, pulls it in, now throws, Godwin, first down, touchdown.
And we're back to talk about everyone's favorite position, the tight ends. Boring. None of the tight ends even scored 20 points. So the lowest point of the top 5 QBs was 24. The lowest point of the top 5 running backs was 20. The lowest point of the top 5 receivers is 27. And the highest tight end is under 20 points for the week. So there's your week in a nutshell. There's your tight end position in a nutshell, y'all. So the number 1 tight end of the week on Thanksgiving was Dalton Schultz at 19.1 points. Number 2 tight end is Josh Oliver. Who? Josh Oliver, 17.6 points. That would be the 3rd string behind Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. And Isaiah Likely was hurt. Mark Andrews played. And Josh Oliver's the number 2 tight end of the week, 17.6 points. There you go, Mark Andrews stands. There you guys go. The man, the myth, the legend, Travis Kelce, 15.7 points. I thought he was going to have a huge game. He had 12 points after the first drive, but, KC didn't play that great of a game, but obviously they won. Fourth place, we got TJ Hawkinson, 15.3 point. Now there's a guy. Now here's a guy. There's my John Madden impression. Boom! No, lame. But TJ Hawkinson was always good, but kind of meh. He's been on fire since he's been on Minnesota now. He's pretty much been in the top 5 like 3 of the 4 weeks. Try to look back at my notes here. I don't have them all. But yeah, TJ's been in the top 5 like 3 out of the past 4 weeks ever since he's got traded over to Minnesota. And then number 5th place was Hunter Henry at 15.3 points. And you can almost count it as like another 7 points. Maybe he could be the tight end 1 of the week because he got a touchdown taken away from him that probably should have been a touchdown. Hunter Henry from New England. He probably should have had a second touchdown. I was big on Hunter Henry coming into the year. I don't want to say he's let me down, but he's let me down. But he's just getting going now. I'm not going to run out and sign him and get everything I can out of him. Just it's Hunter Henry. Like, he is who he is, though. That's who he is. Dalton Schultz, it's good to see him getting those points coming off of an injury at the beginning of the season. I got Dak in a couple of leagues, so Dak's been playing fairly well. And it coincides with Dalton Schultz playing well. So I hate the tight end position, and I'm just not going to do it. No, we're going to do it. Travis Kelce again. Hit 39-yard touchdown. And I know it was 39 because in the leagues that I have him, you get a bonus for a 40-yard touchdown, and he just missed it. But it was a 39-yard touchdown, and I think it was a 15-yard pass, and Travis Kelce did the rest. Because he's a phenomenal talent. So once again, Travis Kelce, we're going to call this award the Travis Kelce Award, apparently. Travis Kelce, you are the play of the week.
Fake. Mahomes a lot of time. Now over the middle. He's got his man. Kelce at the 15. Gets a block inside the 5, and he's in. Touchdown, Kansas City.
And that'll do it for this week's Coffee with Chazz. Sorry about it being so late. It just, life gets in the way sometimes, but we got it out for you. We're recording the podcast tonight. It's going to be out tomorrow and Wednesday on most of your podcast places, but you're the YouTube crowd, so I'll have this out in the morning. Probably noon on Tuesday, I'm thinking, is when it's going to come out. Lots to talk about. The Get Dunked On segment, of course. I got a great Get Dunked On segment coming up. And then we got the Victory Lap, of course. We got the I'm So High Right Now segment. Might have a few new things in the work. We'll see if I can get it done in that time. Well, thank you for joining me with Coffee with Chazz. We're already almost to the playoffs. Make sure you guys are sticking up on your rosters. Even if you think you're out, maybe you could be in. And even if you're out, keep doing your rosters. Be the spoiler. Ruin somebody's season. You'll make you feel a little bit better even though you don't win money. So, again, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.